Hey everybody, today is December 22nd. Today we're going to talk about the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is attempting to break out from this over a month-long downtrend, right? We're trying to find support, build support by holding this lower level of around 47,000, but Bitcoin still needs to make a higher high. So in this video, we will go over the price of Bitcoin and discuss whether Bitcoin has what it takes to reverse this downtrend into an uptrend and perhaps go into the new year strong, right? Before we begin, please read the disclaimer. You can pause this video as you read it. Okay, so in our last video, we talked about how things that affect the price of Bitcoin, the stock market, is the stock market going up, right? If the stock market is going down, especially the NASDAQ, Bitcoin is highly correlated with the NASDAQ. That tends to bring the price of Bitcoin down, right? Because now there's a lot of institutions involved. So institutions are going to treat Bitcoin like a growth stock, like a tech stock, a risk-on asset. So when there's a lot of fear in the market, like we've seen earlier this month with the Omicron fears, right? We've seen the market pull back. Let's pull that up really quickly. We saw the market pullback here, and even in when we saw the pullback into September, like Bitcoin tends to follow the stock market, right? Saw a pullback into September, and also early this year with the Omicron fears, right? The pullback. So when the stock market is doing well, like it is now, right? Now the stock market has doing very well this week. Bouncing off the 100-day moving average, the midterm moving average, and now it's a little over 1% from all time. This is the S&P 500. It's 500. This is less than 1%. A little bit more than 1% away from all-time highs. So usually when the stock market goes and makes new all-time highs, Bitcoin tends to rally very hard, right? Like over here, this big rally was when the market put in new. So this is October, right? You see in October, here, zoom in a little bit more. October, the stock market basically ripped up higher, like just completely went up and broke new all-time highs, right? And Bitcoin, of course, went up to new all-time highs in early November, right? But look at October, just incredible. So if the stock market continues to recover and break new all-time highs and continue up higher, we should see a similar rally that we saw in October and also in July and August, right? So if Bitcoin can form and hold this base of support around 47,000, continue up and reverse the trend, I can see us going as fast and as high up to new all-time highs up to maybe 75,000, right? But let's not get a little too ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about some of the fundamentals, right? Of course, with the stock market going up, we saw that we just said that Bitcoin tends to follow. The dollar index has been pulling back, which is also great, right? Usually when the dollar index and Bitcoin is usually inversely correlated. So when the dollar is strong, Bitcoin tends to suffer a little bit, right? And we saw that in November. In November, the dollar basically ripped up higher. And that put a lot of downward pressure on Bitcoin, right? In November, Bitcoin basically plunged, right? Plunged from all-time high all the way down to 30. I mean, this is a long wick, Rich, right? 30%, but we basically more than 30%, right? Around the average, but yeah. So the fact that the dollar is still high, it does worry me a little bit, but over the last 24 hours, the dollar has actually been dropping a lot as the stock market continues to recover, right? And people would rather hold risk-on asset rather than the safe haven dollar, right? And that's giving Bitcoin a little bit more gas to perhaps break up higher and reverse this downtrend that we've been in for over a month now, right? This is our all-time high over here in early November, and we've basically been in a downtrend. What is a downtrend? Lower highs and lower lows, right? We literally have not made a higher high, and even now we still haven't made a strong higher high. We're trying to do it right now, and we haven't had a higher low as well, right? We have a similar, like perhaps a double bottom over here, right? Or what people like to call a W reversal, but that's not confirmed until we actually break out, right? Because right now we still have technically a same level low and also a same level high. But what we want to see is a strong breakup above 50,000. If we can at least break above 50,000, we can actually start to make higher highs, higher than this level, right? But like I said on my Twitter page, I said that for me to be convinced of a reversal, I want us to break 52,000, right, and take out all these highs right here, right. I want us to break 52,000 and at least give us a chance to get a strong conviction bounce, right. I don't want any of the small stuff and then let it fade down, right. I want to take out all this price action, all this choppy price action over here, and just break above 52,000, right. And keep in mind, like we're starting to see a cross in the moving and the midterm average over here, the silver and the gold line. When that happened last time over here, here, we had a huge plunge, right? But this also happened because the price was a little below the 200-day over here. We've since reclaimed the 200-day earlier this week, right, over here. So we're above the 200-day, we're above the Fibonacci red support line over here, which has also acted as strong support. And then when we broke it, it was resistance over here. So this has basically been a very important level to hold. And we want to hold this 47,000 level, right? This red line, and also the blue line, this 200-day moving average. And now we're above it, but we need to stay above it and also continue to push up higher, and especially with this cross coming up ahead, which could be big problems. But as long as we're above the 200, it should be okay. It shouldn't be as bad. It seems like just an inevitable cross because we've been in a downtrend for so long. But the bulls are really trying to put in work right now, right? And so basically, technical speaking, technical wise, we do want to see a strong breakup about at least 50,000 minimum. But for me, 52,000 is a strong place for me to start to become very bullish. So, Hashrate. Hashrate has been doing very, very well. We're near all-time highs, right? The last time we had printed all-time high on Hashrate was 198, right? And on April 14th, which was also our previous all-time high back in April, over here, April 14th, right? Before we printed a new all-time high in November 10, right? 69,000. So the fact that the hash rate is improving, and it's been improving since the China exodus, right, on miners, this is very good because Bitcoin's price is heavily correlated with the hash rate, right? When the hash rate goes down, the Bitcoin price goes down, and when the hash rate goes up, Bitcoin price tends to go up. Although I have to say that during bear markets, Bitcoin historically, the hash rate has gone up during Bitcoin bear markets, but generally speaking, when the hash rate crashes, Bitcoin price also crashes as well. So the fact that we're going to all-time highs gives me more confidence that the bulls will fight and defend this level instead of letting it be faded, right? Because if it fades, it's going to be really bad because we've been in a downtrend for so long now. Well, I guess in Bitcoin, in crypto, it feels like a long time, right? Obviously, we were in a longer downtrend and earlier this year, but a month and a half from all-time high, it just feels like an eternity, right? But right now, the bulls are attempting to reverse the trend and push up higher. But like I said, 50,000 and 52,000 to me, I need those levels for me to be very, very confident that we likely have put in the low and that we will reverse the trend to go a lot higher, right? So let's look at some of the technicals. We talked about this. We talked about how the price is above the 200-day. We're also above the weekly 50-day. So the 50-week, right? We're technically above it right now, but we've been very close to it earlier this year, right, in July. And generally speaking, this is an important level because when the price breaks below the 50-week, that generally happens during the bear market, like over here in 2014 and over here in 2018, right? So right now we're kind of flirting with it. We definitely don't want to close a weekly candle, another weekly candle below it. We want to fight to push the price higher. And right now, also on the weekly chart, I've talked about this in previous videos, how we have an ascending triangle, and this is still valid until we take out 40,000 over here, which is this low, right? If we take out 40,000, then of course that's going to break the trend. But as long as we hold this level, 47,000, right, where we are right now, just a bit above 47,000, I am confident that Bitcoin will continue to recover and go up a lot higher, right? But bulls really need to put in the work and start to be aggressive with their market buy orders to the upside, right? And there's a lot of resistance now at certain levels, especially 50,000, right? That's been a level that we have had a hard time breaking over the past couple of days, but we really need to do that to start putting in higher lows and higher highs and reverse the momentum of the trend from downward to upwards, right? Oscillators are now in neutral territory. They're getting closer to neutral territory. They're still a bit oversold, but they're getting closer to neutral territory. So that's positive. It means that there's more momentum to the upside, perhaps coming in soon. Dixie, of course, we talked about that already, pulling back, but still pretty high. That's still something to worry about. If the dollar index remains high instead of plunging, that could still put downward pressure on the price of Bitcoin. Fear and greed index. On Monday, it was at extreme fear, but now it's at just fear, which is a nice improvement. As you can see, we were in this range for a long time, right? But now we're starting to break out of that range, and hopefully we stay above that range because when Bitcoin price rips up higher, the fear and greed index also goes up higher, right? Like over here in when we had here in September and November, the fear and greed index was pretty high as well. So we don't want to see the fear and greed index increase, as that tends to rise in proportion with the price of Bitcoin as well. So what I'm looking for is if we get three things, right? if we get, oh sorry, we get the stock market rising, we get the dollar index going down, right? And we see the fear and greed index going up higher. I do expect something like this, or even this to happen, right? As long as those three things happen, right? New all-time highs in the stock market, the dollar starts to fade, to pull back, and the fear and greed index starts to rise to more greed than fear. I do expect something like this going into the next year, right? And that should be in line of what we should expect anyways, right? A lot of people are saying that we're going to go sideways, and they might be right, but I do think that we should give benefit of the doubt to the bulls. As long as we are able to have all those things line up and shift the momentum back, I don't see why we can't have a quick rally to reclaim all-time highs and perhaps push up higher, right? I do think that since these Fibonacci lines have acted as strong support and resistance levels, we must give benefit of doubt to the chart and say that, hey, the next resistance level is going to be around 70 to 75,000 right over here. So that's what I'm looking for. If we're able to break at least in the short term 50,000 to 52,000, right, and reverse the trend, make a nice squeeze to the top, squeeze a lot of short positions and push the price up to the next resistance level around 70, 75,000. So yeah, so to recap, Bitcoin is looking a lot more bullish than it was last week, but we still have a lot of work to do. We still need to break at least 50,000 and 52,000 to give me a convincing argument that we are starting to put in higher lows and higher highs and to reverse the trend upward, right? Because right now we've been in over a month-long downtrend of lower highs and lower lows. So Bitcoin, at least they're trying to make an attempt. The bulls are trying to make an attempt, but we need more conviction from the bulls and more aggressive long positions to push the price up higher. So we'll definitely update you guys the next couple days. The stock market is closed on Friday, so I'm not sure if I'm going to make a video on Friday or I'm going to take that day off and make a video on Monday along with the stock market video. But we'll see if there's anything interesting happening in the price action, right? But hopefully the bulls are able to follow a similar pattern to here, right? So when we put in this bottom, we saw how each candle got bigger and bigger until we had a huge momentum push to the upside, right? Same thing around here when the bottom was in July. So that's what we want to see. We saw that nice big candle yesterday, 4%, right? But we want to see another candle just get bigger and just rip through higher, right? And rip through all these resistance levels. And that's going to give bulls a lot of confidence to take more aggressive positions, push the price up higher. So if that is the case, if that happens by Friday, I'll make a video. If not, I'll probably skip that video and wait until, if the price action is boring, then I'll probably skip it and wait until Monday to update. And hopefully by Monday, we'll have a nice price action, at least more bullish price action from the bulls. Otherwise, it might look bad if we continue to come down and flirt with the 200-day and this $47,000 Fibonacci support line. And yeah, we don't want to come down here. We want to stay above and turn this into a higher low and of course start to make higher highs, right? So that's what I'm looking for, a break above 50,000, and to me a convincing break above 52,000 at the very minimum. So yeah, so again, if you guys didn't watch my stock video, I just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We'll be back next Monday or maybe on Friday. We'll see. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great time during this holiday weekend with your family and your friends. Yeah, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for updates. I appreciate all your support. Thank you again, and have a great day.